Now at 11 and streaming on CBSN Bay Area, we're counting up the votes from those key races across the Bay Area and California. Good evening, I'm Veronica Dela Cruz.
And I'm Elizabeth Cook. But first, let's start with the up-to-minute results in the Democratic presidential race here in California. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders has been declared the winner now with 30% of the vote, followed by Biden with 20% and Michael Bloomberg with 17%. Elizabeth Warren took 12%, and Pete Buttigieg and Amy Klobuchar, both which have dropped out of the race, 9% and 5% respectively.
Prop 13 is California's only state proposition on the ballot tonight. It's all about money for schools, $15 billion to be exact. It needs a majority to pass. Right now, the yeses have it with 57% and 53% of precincts reporting.
In San Francisco, Measure E would restrict new offices from being built if the city can't meet state-mandated affordable housing goals. This one needs a majority to pass. Right now, the yeses have it with 55% of the vote. And Measure D in San Francisco finds property owners who leave their retail storefronts empty. It requires 2/3 majority to pass. Right now, with 99% of precincts reporting, the yeses have it with 68% of the vote.
The city of Santa Clara's Measure C would establish 6 districts. 1 city council member would be elected in each district. A majority is needed here as well. 60% so far have voted yes, with 96% of precincts reporting.
Those candidates could win outright tonight.
And we've got reporters live across the Bay Area with results and reaction to the important races. In the race for the White House, big night for Joe Biden and Senator Bernie Sanders.
Biden is projected to win Massachusetts, Minnesota, Arkansas, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Alabama, North Carolina, and Virginia. And tonight, the AP is projecting Sanders will seize victory in Super Tuesday's biggest prize, California. He also won Vermont, Colorado, and Utah.
When we began this race for the presidency, everybody said it couldn't be done. But tonight, I tell you with absolute confidence, we are going to win the Democratic nomination. And we are going to defeat the most dangerous president in the history of this country. We are putting together an unprecedented grassroots, multi-generational, multiracial movement. It is a movement which speaks to the working families of this country who are sick and tired of working longer hours for low wages and seeing all new income and wealth going to the top 1%.
On top of his 8 wins, Biden still has a shot at the night's second biggest prize.
He's battling Bernie Sanders for an upset victory in Texas.
Folks, it's still early, but things are looking awful good. For those who've been knocked down, counted out, left behind, this is your campaign. Just a few days ago, the press and the pundits had declared the campaign dead. And then came South Carolina, and they had something to say about it. And we're told, well, when you got to Super Tuesday, it'd be over. Well, it may be over for the other guy.
KPIX 5 political analyst Melissa Kane joins us now. Melissa, Sanders handily won California, but arguably Biden won just as big, especially if he does in fact take Texas.
That's right. So winning a state like Texas, in addition to this other southern states that he seems to be doing really well in, I think really feeds into the narrative around him that he is someone who's able to win in sort of more diverse places, win in the South, win sort of in non-traditional Democratic strongholds, and that plays into the issue of electability. He's saying, look, these are good. These are folks that I can actually bring in that appeal to, that I appeal to. But I will say this though, California. I wrote it down. California has 416 at-large delegates. I'm sorry, not at-large delegates, pledged delegates available. Texas only has 228. And so while they are two of the largest by far, California is still the much bigger prize than Texas. Texas is, to some degree, while very delegate heavy, also is really a totem that shows I win where it's diverse. I win in places that are not traditional Democratic strongholds. And I think that fits very nicely with Joe Biden's narrative as to why he should be the nominee.
Thank you,
All right.
Melissa. We'll
Melissa,
check in
thank
with
you.
later in the show.
A night of celebration for Bernie Sanders supporters.
At least here in California. KPIX 5 Joe Vasquez is at the candidate's campaign headquarters in Oakland. Joe?
Yeah, and the victory party is on right now. You can see it's karaoke time here at Bernie Sanders headquarters here in Oakland. Their candidate winning California, so there's been quite a celebration tonight. But Joe Biden prevailed in other parts of the country, and frankly, that has some Bernie supporters uneasy.
Joe Biden, he's, a very famous man, that's all I can say. He's got a long track record of being in politics, but Bernie has a track record of getting things done and having moral conviction. And it's going to be a strong rivalry between the two.
We saw a lot of enthusiasm tonight among younger voters. There was a long line at the poll near UC Berkeley campus tonight. Some of these folks so young, they were voting for the first time. So the big question tonight, can this youth vote that turned out in the primary continue to gain momentum as election season rolls along? Reporting live in Oakland, I'm Joe Vasquez, KPIX 5.
All right, here's a look now at the GOP race for President Donald Trump. Well ahead in a landslide, 93% of the vote there. Bill Weld, 3%. Joe Walsh, 2%. 45% of precincts reporting definitely winning by a landslide there.